See here it talks about the field definition that can be used in definition. What it means is in PeopleSoft you define the field independently. What it means is once the field definition like customer ID is created in PeopleSoft, you can use customer ID in any of the record. Got it? It is a independent object or a definition in PeopleSoft application designer, and you must have seen by now that that same field is actually being used in different records. Okay. Now your question will be like if we are using the same field in different records, does it overlap or does it create some contradiction among the records? It's no, because in PeopleSoft we have record field properties. Got it? Not the field properties. Record field property means a property of a field in relation to that particular record. Okay, so we will try to see here quickly. Let me just log in. In fact, they have logged in France today. Okay, let me just see if HRMS is. So I hope you are clear that we can use the one field definition in different records and it does not contradict. Like, let me open any of the field, let's say ample ID, the simplest one which is almost used in many records in okay, see this is the record. Okay, yes, it reminds me of an element in the global payroll. Okay, so what we can see is employee ID is basically used in many of the records, right? But it does not create any problem, because if I open the record, let's say I think job data. Okay, if I open the this thing job table, if I right click and view definition, it will take me to the field. Now this is field property, but if I click this, double click means if I double click this particular field employee ID, it will take me to the record field properties. So all the properties which we set up here for a particular field is actually related to a particular record called job. Okay, not the field in as an independent which we had defined earlier. Got it? All these properties we will discuss later on, but I'm just trying to explain you that the concept here, that once you define a customer ID or an employee ID as a separate definition, as a field definition, you can use this definition in any of the record, and there is no contradiction. Means they are now in this case, this customer ID will behave like for this table. This customer ID will behave for this table. It's separate. There is no problem, using the same field in a different records, as long as it matches your requirement, like the number of length of the field or the type of the field you not want. Okay. And one more thing, it is always recommended to use some relevant name of the field. Okay. Sometimes what happens is you may find a existing field to be used in your record, but that name is not very relevant or not very self understanding when you use, like when you refer it later on. Okay, it is always advised that, okay, in case if your name of the field is not matching up your requirement, then always better to create a new field of a different name which is self explanatory. Got it? Yes. Okay. So here the same thing they are explaining, that created as separate entities completely apart from the record definition into which they are placed or inserted. They are only created once, which can be used in a multiple records. it is explaining the same thing. Okay. So what are the different field types we have? Char, character type field, a fixed length alphanumeric field. If your requirement is to store alphanumeric values, you should always use char type field. We will see on the application designer how these field types are used. Okay, long character is basically for a alphanumeric for the big text, means like for a long text. If you have any requirement of a long text, you use long character. But one thing is important here is PeopleSoft does not allow you to have more than one long field in a record. Okay, so you need to be very careful in using long data type or a field type in your record or when you are defining any field. PeopleSoft does not allow, actually not recommend, does not allow you to insert more than one long field in a record. Okay, number field type, any particular length. No, I think just a second. We can actually see. See, here is the field type. If I say long character, maximum length, yes. Okay, let me see. No, it is taking too many lengths. So I'm not very sure about like what is the long character maximum length it can take. Okay, but it is mainly for the like free text you want on the page. But use this as a very carefully, because PeopleSoft does not allow you. Okay, let's try to see if we have any long character field and what is the length. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, these are the long character fields available in the PeopleSoft, and you just see length here: 4096, 8192. See, you can see here like what are the length they have put here. See, okay. So it is again why it is not recommended, because it takes lot of space, and any database also does not allow this long character data field type uh, to be used in a SQL. Like when you give any kind of command on the page, there is a SQL which is executed at the back end on the database. So any database, whether it is Oracle, SQL Server, or any DB2, they do not allow long character field type to be executed in a where clause. So that is why it does not allow you to use the long character. So use it very carefully. Number, it's again a number field. Numeric allows decimal values also. Signed number with a negative or a positive sign. Okay, mainly used for the amount. Okay, date, again for the system for the dates to store this date value in the field. Okay, so I have shown you here how we set up the if I take the field here, if I create a new field, these are the field types we can set up here. Okay, we can also do the attachment, image, date, time, only date, signed number, and number. So you can use based on what your requirement is. So that is what I'm saying. In the technical specification document, based on your functional requirement document, the technical architect always create a field structure what they want, and based on the fields, the record structure and the page design. Okay, so it is very careful. The person preparing the technical design document has to be very careful in designing these type of fields and record structure, and should always match the requirement of the business. Okay, it also talks about the image reference, attachment. So it is very generic. Like if you want to store the image or the image dynamically runtime at the people code. So this is something which I also never used it. Image reference. So okay, so these are the field types we have in the PeopleSoft. So this is the screenshot of which I have explained you the drop down, and you can set up the field type and the length of the field. Okay, field format type is low uppercase. Like it says that how your data should be saved in the uppercase or in the mixed case. So if I open the field, see here, uppercase name, what kind of data type we have, mixed case, raw binary, numbers only, zip code, whether it's a zip code. So it tells the format. Like if you take it as a zip code, so the data is saved in a zip code format in the database, in the records in the database, I can say. Okay, so normally we use uppercase, or if you have any specific requirement, like for example a social security number. So in social security number, you have a format, something like this, like let's say 1 2 3, then dash 4 5 6 dash 7 8 9 10, like this. So what happens is when you enter a value in the database, it will be stored in this format. Like it will be a dash in the middle after 3 digit and the 4 digit. So that is the purpose of the format type. Okay, like for phone number, yes, like for phone number or any social security zip code. So these type of different requirement we have for each field. So we define the format type here. Okay. What is this? Not used checkbox. Chart field checkbox. Oh, okay. It is talking about these two checkboxes we have. So not used checkbox is always a read only in the field definition property dialog box. You can change its value using people code. So not used is basically as part of the to skip as a part of the unique index, or you want to expose to people codes for read and write operations. Okay, ignored in the query and ignored in envision. So these are the if you want to ignore this particular field in any of the operations, like in PS query or in envision or any other while doing the coding for this field, you can use this checkbox and you can set the property of this checkbox. Okay, and again the chart field checkbox is only the read only in this definition. It is used for the character fields and used by financial application to specify a usage pattern. You can change its value using people code. Again, I've also never used this checkbox in my like in my whole career, but there would be a delivered fields which you would be using this properties and the people code to set the values for this field property. Okay, so something like this. See, long, it is showing the screenshot for the long character field type. Okay, here it is maximum length. On the long character fields, enter 0 to enable user to enter any amount of text. Okay, it depends on the database platform, but the limit is measured in GB rather than the characters. Okay, you can enter a number to limit the characters allowed as well. So if you enter 0, it will allow you to enter the unlimited any amount of text. Okay, and then again depends on the database platform, like what should be the limit it will allow you to enter into a particular long character field. Okay, I think this answer your question, right? Okay, great. So let's move. It is showing the screenshot for the date type field. Okay, this is something which we have discussed. You can go through the text later on. This is for the number field. Okay, and then you have field identifying field definition types and properties. Okay, now you have field property. Okay, let me just show you where we can set up the field property. Okay, let me open the any of the existing field. Okay, let's open employee ID, which is a very commonly used employee ID field in the in the HRMS. Okay, see here on the top it says properties. So if I click this, it will open me the field properties. Whenever you click any of the this button, you always check what property it is. See, it is showing here the field properties. Okay, this is where you can actually set up the field property. The name of the field, the type of the field. Okay, it is actually right now it is talking about the sorry, it is talking about the this field only at this moment. Okay, now we will talk about the translate values. These things actually we have discussed. What is name, type of the field, label options. Okay, label options is something, just a second. Okay, you must have seen here, you have different label IDs here, right? What is the purpose of defining different label IDs for one field only? Okay, so it explains here all the field must have at least one label because you can use a field definition in many records having multiple labels, making a field more flexible. So what happens is when you define your field definition, you have to use this field in the different records. Okay, and different records will have different meaning of a field. Okay, different purpose. So what happens is when you define different label IDs and use them accordingly, then it helps you to understand. See, in this case, if you see employee ID is only one field, but it would be using in different records. And let's see here. See, the employee ID can be used as applicant ID, association ID, bank for all. Okay, employee ID blank for all, browser ID, combat, what is this? Cobra employee ID, course administrator, customer, right employee ID. So you can use the same field in different format, a different type of records with your own requirement, based on your own requirement. Okay. So what happens is you can also add your own label. So if I use Multisoft, why it is not? Okay. Hmm. Okay, I think it does not allow me to enter the on the employee ID field at this moment. But when you define your own field, you can you can define your own label ID based on your requirement. So label ID number 2 can be used in one record. Label ID can be used in label record number 2. So the name of the field will remain same, but it will show you the label ID on the different record in different way. So what happens is it is more meaningful for a person. Yes, the field is one. Yes, the field is one, but okay, let me show you the with the help of this diagram actually. See, the default label is the label which appears by default when the field is used. As see in this case, let me see if we can. Okay, so in this case, what they are trying to show is uh, it is actually not very clear. You can see here that a same field can have different labels for them. See here, default is one, but you also have different labels which you can see on the page. Okay, based on your requirement. So it is more flexible. You can use the same field differently based on your requirement. So that is the purpose of the label ID. Okay. Uh, these are the delivered fields. They have talked about effective date, effective status, description, date. These are very few of them. But as you must have seen, like there are many fields which are delivered by PeopleSoft. And effective date, it is a date field. Status is a one character field. If I open this, see if I show you the effective status field on the application designer. Okay, it will be effective status. See, you are not authorized to update. It is a read only. Okay. See here, it is a one character field for it's just a flag. Yes or no, active, inactive. A and I. Okay. So these are the different label IDs. See, these are the different label IDs which you can see on the page. So when you use this field on different records, you can mention your own label ID to make it more meaningful for your own record or for your own page. Okay, this is the purpose of the label ID. Okay, and the purpose of effective date, status, description, date. Okay, it talks about what are the conditions we have. Can we make label ID for delivered ones? Yes, actually it is not allowing me at this moment, but yes, you can do it. See, let's do one test here. Uh, Record. Okay, let me insert a field here. See, I'm just okay. Meanwhile, you also just pay attention on how we insert fields from a field into a particular record. Okay, let's add effective status. Okay, if I double click on that field, it'll see it is inserted here. Okay, then you just keep adding your field. Okay, if I double click, it is here. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, it's not the wrong picture. See, at this moment, it is showing you the short name and the long name used for the no, used for the effective status and effective date. But yes, we can use the label ID of the delivered one as well. Okay. So these are the few conditions they have talked about the field. So activity 16 will actually help you to understand how the field definitions are, what are the field definition, field properties are, and We will also talk about now about the translate values. What is the translate values means? Okay. This section presents a review of the peers course technical specification. Okay, steps to creating field definition. See, now this table we have seen in the earlier chapter was from the technical design document. So from the technical design document, they have taken this table which talks about fields which will be required by your project or by for your development. Okay. Now let's follow this table to create a fields, a different fields for our project. Okay. Let's create first field as T1 course. So, oh, it's not. So what we will do is click on the new button, field, okay, and then what's your requirement is to have a character field of length 6. Okay, so what I'll do is character length is 6. Okay, and then short and the long name is course code, and see the format. Even the format is defined. I'll tell you about translate what it is, but at this moment let's focus on these columns. I'll tell you what is translate and new. See, new means it is a new field we have to create. If it is blank, it means the field is delivered. So we have to use the delivered field. See, whatever we have new column here, it means we have to create a new field, otherwise they are delivered. Okay, so let's make T1 underscore course and course code. So what we do is we can label is T1 course code, and the long name is course code. Okay, and the short name it says is course. Now you're getting is like why a technical specification document is important. Okay, and it says upper format. Now if I click this, yes, if I click save button, it asks me the name of the field. Now I'll put it as T1 course CD. That is what it says. No, T1 course only. Oops, sorry. Okay, it talks about T1 course only. If I click OK, now this new field definition is saved in it. Okay, let's close it and let me see if it is created. I'll click the open button. I'll select field from here. Okay, and I'll type T1 underscore course and open. Now see my field is created in the PeopleSoft system. So when you create a new definition, where it will go? It will go into the people tools table. I told you yesterday what is the field name for that. That is PSDB field. This is the record name where this new record definition will enter. Okay. Now that is the purpose of this diagram. When you create a technical specification document, and this is the purpose of new and old. Okay, this way a developer will go into this table and create the field definitions. Okay, I'll come to the translate. What is the concept of translate in the following pages? Okay, these are the steps they have defined, which we have gone through now. Enter a unique name and click OK. You will have the field definition created. Okay, see, this is how they have shown the screenshot. And def checkbox means this is the default label ID, which will be used if you do not change, or if you do not want to change it. This is the default label ID will be used across the different records. This is the activity 17. which will help you to understand how to create fields. So I hope like you will go through this activity at your own available time. Okay. Now we yes. Okay. Thank you.